She was the woman every man wanted, and the one who made a billionaire fall on his knees. But when his own brother walked in, desire became danger, and loyalty turned to betrayal. This is the story of how one secret night shattered everything. Some women walk into a room and everyone stops breathing. But this one, she walked in, and the whole world watched her. Her name was Kyra. She wasn't just beautiful. She was unforgettable. Tall, with curves sculpted by the gods, eyes that spoke in silence, and lips that could convince a man to burn kingdoms. She had brains, class, a dangerous kind of confidence, and the kind of body that could make any man sin willingly. She didn't need anyone. Not for money. Not for status. She ran her own brand. Made her own rules. Paid her own bills. She had men begging, offering the world at her feet, but she only smiled and walked away. Until the day she met Kendrick. Now Kendrick. He wasn't your everyday billionaire. He was young, ridiculously handsome, and dangerously powerful. Owns real estate, tech, oil, clubs, jets, everything. But with all that money, Kendrick still believed in love. That rare, deep, die-for-you kind of love. And the day he saw Kyra standing by the pool at a charity event, wearing a deep red dress that clung to her like second skin, he knew. He was done for. "Who's that?" he whispered to his assistant. "That's Kyra. She's not on social media. Doesn't talk to press. Independent. Private. Smart. Untouchable." "Not anymore," Kendrick replied, adjusting his suit jacket. He walked up to her, confident, composed, charismatic. "Kyra, right?" She turned, raised an eyebrow. "And you are?" "Kendrick. Kendrick Lawson." She smacked. "Oh. The man whose name makes the stock market sneeze." He chuckled. "And the woman whose face made me forget I owned one." That was the beginning. A little banter. A drink. A dance. And by the end of that night, a spark neither of them could put out. Over the next few months, Kyra and Kendrick became inseparable. He spoiled her, but not with money. With attention. With time. With his whole heart. He'd fly her out for breakfast in Paris, just to be back by lunch. Held her hand in public like she was a queen. Defended her name like his life depended on it. Everyone could see it, Kendrick was in love. And Kyra. She tried to fight it. She'd been independent all her life, scared of being someone's girl. But Kendrick made her feel safe. Soft. Valued. She was falling. Slowly. Silently. But surely. Everything was perfect. Until he walked through the door. It was a Saturday morning. Kyra had just gotten back from yoga, wearing nothing but a crop top and sweatpants, when she heard a knock at the penthouse door. She opened it, and froze. There he was. Jaden. Tall. Built. Skin smooth like caramel. Eyes sharp and cold. His jawline looked like it was carved with a blade. He was dangerous. Sexy. Silent. Kendrick's stepbrother. Jaden had been out of the country for years. Nobody really talked about him. Some said he hated Kendrick. Others said he didn't believe in anything, family, love, or loyalty. But now, he was back. And from the moment Kyra saw him, something shifted. It wasn't love. It wasn't even affection. It was raw attraction. The kind that made her stomach clench. Her skin heat up. Her mouth go dry. She blinked fast, stepping back. He didn't smile. Just looked her up and down with those piercing eyes. "You must be Kyra," he said, voice deep and smooth. "I'm Jaden." From that day, the air in the house changed. Kendrick was still loving, still perfect. But every time Jaden walked into the room, Kyra's heart betrayed her. Her eyes followed him. Her body reacted before her mind could catch up. Jaden would smirk, say something cold, or just pass by her too close, brushing her arm lightly, and she'd feel it for hours. She hated it. She hated herself for it. But desire isn't always polite. Sometimes, it's brutal. One day, Kendrick went to work. Kyra was in the kitchen, alone, sipping wine and trying to read a book. Jaden walked in, shirtless, in just joggers. "Can't sleep?" he asked. "No," she replied, eyes trying not to wander. He leaned against the counter, grabbing a drink. For a moment, it was just silence. Then he looked at her, dead in the eye. "You want me, don't you?" Her glass slipped slightly in her hand. "What?" He stepped closer. "You feel it too. I see how you look at me. You can lie to yourself, but your body doesn't lie." She tried to walk away, but he blocked her gently. "No games, Kyra. I don't believe in love. Never have. But this thing between us, it's real. It's raw. And it's happening, whether you admit it or not." She stared at him, breathing fast, her heart pounding. And in that moment, logic died. They kissed. Desperately. Wildly. As if the world would end in the next hour. She hated him. Wanted him. Needed him. He lifted her onto the counter. Their clothes became a memory. The night became a blur of heat, skin, sweat, and guilt. But when it was over, reality came crashing down. Kyra sat on the floor, knees to her chest, tears silently falling. Jaden lit a cigarette. "Don't cry," he said coldly. "You knew what this was. They say the worst kind of temptation is the one you don't even realize you're falling into. Until it's too late." Kyra thought she was strong. She thought she had it under control. But every time she saw Jaden, something in her melted. A part of her that Kendrick never touched, started waking up. And no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't shut it off. It started with the little things. A glance too long. A joke that felt too personal. An accidental brush of fingers in the kitchen. The way he'd look at her like he knew things Kendrick didn't. Jaden was the opposite of his brother. Where Kendrick was kind, Jaden was reckless. Where Kendrick listened, Jaden challenged. Where Kendrick held her gently, Jaden made her heart beat like a war drum just by standing close. One morning, she walked into the gym, half asleep, leggings on, hair a mess. Jaden was there. Shirtless. Dripping sweat. Muscles gleaming. He didn't even look her way. Just kept punching the bag, like he was mad at the world. She tried to ignore him. Focused on stretching, breathing, counting reps. But her eyes betrayed her. They wandered. Lingered. Stayed too long. He noticed. "Something on your mind?" he asked, not even looking at her. She froze. "No." He smacked. "That's funny, you've been staring at me like I owe you something." The next day, she caught him watching her while she watered the plants on the balcony. His gaze didn't move. Didn't blink. Didn't care if she noticed. And when she asked what he was looking at, he said, "Just admiring the way you lie to yourself." Days turned into weeks. The air between them, heavy. Kyra would be in the kitchen. Jaden would walk in shirtless. No words exchanged. Just silence, and tension, and thoughts they both pretended weren't there. She'd lie in bed at night, curled next to Kendrick, thinking about Jaden's hands. His voice. his breath on her neck. She hated herself for it. But she couldn't stop. One night, Kendrick was away on a 4-day business trip. Kyra came down for a midnight movie. Just an innocent movie. Jaden was in the living room, back turned, want to watch something? He asked. She turned to leave. But he spoke. Running away again. She sighed. I just came for a movie. Jaden placed the remote down. Turned. Walked toward her, slowly. You always run when it gets real, he said. She laughed nervously. Real? There's nothing real between us. He stopped inches from her face. That's the problem, Kyra. It's too real. And you hate that. Their eyes locked. Neither of them moved. The silence was louder than thunder. Then, Jaden reached forward. He didn't touch her. Just brushed her necklace lightly with his fingers. You shake when I'm near you, he whispered. You breathe faster when I look at you. You think I haven't noticed? Kyra backed up, heart pounding. I'm with your brother, she said, almost begging herself to remember it. He nodded. Yeah, and yet here you are, in my arms, at midnight, wearing nothing but that little silk robe. She gasped. Looked down. She hadn't realized how sheer it looked under the light. Jaden leaned in, his lips brushing her ear. Tell me you don't want me, and I'll leave you alone. Her mouth opened. No words came out. He stepped back. Waited. Gave her space. Kyra stood frozen. Don't do this, she finally whispered. He nodded slowly. Too late. He turned and walked away. And Kyra stayed in the living room for 20 minutes, shaking. The next morning, she avoided him. Didn't look his way. Didn't say a word. But at night, she dreamed of him. And the next day, she slept. It was raining. Kendrick was still on a 4-day business trip. Jaden was in the library, reading. Kyra walked in, searching for a book. At least that's what she told herself. They said nothing for 20 minutes. Then she asked, why do you hate love so much? Jaden looked up, closed the book, and said, because love pretends. Lust doesn't lie. Lust owns what it is. She swallowed hard. Are you saying this is just lust? Jaden stood. Walked to her. Tucked a wet strand of hair behind her ear. I'm saying I want you. Whether it's love or lust. I want you. She didn't walk away. He kissed her. This time, soft. Slow. No heat. No roughness. Just truth. And she kissed him back. Her hands found his chest. His lips explored her neck. They didn't speak. Just moved. Their clothes slid off like whispers. Their bodies met like they'd waited for years. And on that library floor, wrapped in thunder, and sweat, and guilt, Kyra gave in. Again. When it was over, they didn't speak. Jaden lay on the floor, staring at the ceiling. Kyra curled up beside him, heart racing. I hate you, she whispered. He smiled bitterly. No, you don't. She got up. Dressed slowly. Didn't look back. That night, Kendrick returned. She slept beside Kendrick again. He kissed her goodnight. Said he loved her. Promised her forever. And she said it back. But deep down, she knew. The line had been crossed. Twice. And it was never going back. The next morning, Kendrick, with flowers, a gift, and a surprise vacation plan. He kissed her forehead. I missed you so much, baby. And Kyra smiled, dying inside. That night with Jaden changed everything. The guilt. The lies. The fear. The shame. And just when she thought she could maybe hide it, she found an envelope on her pillow. No name. No message. Just one photo. A picture of her and Jaden. Together. One photo. Just one. And Kyra's world stopped breathing. She stared at it like it might blink away. Ah. Jaden. Half naked. On Kendrick's kitchen counter. Lips locked. Hands tangled. Body screaming guilt. Everything captured. There was no note. No threat. Just the silence. The kind that clings to your skin and whispers, "I saw you." She dropped the envelope on the bed like it burned her. Heart pounding. Palms sweating. She checked it again, like something might have changed. But it hadn't. Still that same photo. Still that same sick twist in her gut. She looked around. Her bedroom suddenly felt too small. Like the walls were listening. Judging. Closing in. Kyra wasn't stupid. This wasn't random. This was personal. She shoved the photo under her pillow just as Kendrick walked in. He grinned, holding 2 mugs of tea. "Look what the love of your life made," he said proudly. She faked a smile. "Wow. Tea. You shouldn't have." He kissed her forehead, completely unaware his world was starting to rot under his roof. The next few days, they were hell. Kyra couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Her nerves were shot. She jumped at every text notification. She avoided Jaden like he was the devil himself. And yet, no message came. No demand. No second photo. No name. Nothing. Just that damn silence. Lurking. Watching. Waiting. She tried to tell herself maybe it was a prank. Maybe someone hacked a camera. Maybe it was just some sick joke. She almost believed it. Until envelope number 2 slid under her door. This time, it wasn't just a picture. It was a puzzle. 2 photos. One of her and Jaden mid-kiss. The second was blurred, obscene, unforgiving. And then the note. "You thought I wouldn't see. Cute. But I don't need to shout. I'll let your lies rot you from the inside." No signature. No demand. Just a voice dripping through paper. That night, Kyra sat on her bathroom floor, shaking. She read the note over and over, heartbreaking for a man she still slept beside. Kendrick loved her blindly. Fiercely. He called her his forever. And she was sneaking shame into corners of their house. Jaden finally cornered her in the hallway. "You got another one too, didn't you?" Kyra blinked. "What?" He held up an envelope. Same threat. Different photo. Her voice barely escaped her lips. "You think it's Kendrick?" Jaden scoffed. "He'd rather kill me than play games. This is surgical." She leaned against the wall, dizzy. "Then who?" Jaden shrugged, voice low. "Someone who knows us. Someone close." He leaned closer. "You pissed off the wrong person." She didn't say it out loud, but she knew. Her list of enemies was long. But the person sending this, they weren't trying to expose her. Not yet. They were trying to break her, first. The blackmail didn't stop. Week after week, more photos. More riddles. Each one designed to pull her deeper into the nightmare. There was no pattern. No voice. Just venom. Meanwhile, Kendrick kept being Kendrick. Laughing. Loving. Making plans for their anniversary. Planning a trip to the Maldives. She couldn't take it. Every time he touched her, she flinched. Not because she didn't love him, but because her guilt screamed louder than his kisses. At night, she cried silently into the pillow. And during the day, she wore smiles like armor. Jaden started investigating. He searched security cams, checked visitor logs, even interrogated the house staff. "Kyra," he said one night, "this isn't someone outside." She looked at him, afraid to breathe. "It's someone inside." She wanted to scream. On the seventh night, she got a phone call. Unknown number. She picked it up, already shaking. "Hello, beautiful sinner." Her heart dropped. "You like secrets? Good. But here's the thing. You've got 10 days to tell him. Or I will." Click. No voice distorted this time. Just a calm whisper. Almost polite. Which made it worse. She stared at the phone in her hand like it had teeth. 10 days. That was the countdown. Jaden came in a few minutes later. She told him everything. His jaw tightened. "We are being haunted." He installed hidden cameras, changed passcodes, made calls to private security teams. But Kyra knew. There were some things no system could protect you from. The next morning, Kendrick surprised her. He came into the room with a goofy smile, holding a gift box. "I was gonna wait for our anniversary," he said, "but I can't." "Open it." She hesitated, hands trembling. Inside, a bracelet, engraved, "To my queen, always." Her heart shattered right there. She kissed him back, held him longer than she should have. Because she knew time was running out. Day 8. Kendrick planned a surprise rooftop dinner. Candles, music, wine. The whole city below them. They danced. He laughed. She cried, and blamed it on the wind. He held her hand, looked in her eyes, and pulled out a box. A ring. "Kyra, will you marry me?" Her breath caught. Everything slowed. Her mind screamed. "Tell him now. Tell him everything. End it." But instead, she whispered, "Yes," with tears in her eyes, a storm in her chest, and betrayal in her heart. She said yes. And that was the moment everything truly began to burn. Kyra sat in the backseat of Kendrick's private car, staring at the ring on her finger. It was beautiful. A radiant cut diamond, glistening with promises she didn't deserve. Kendrick sat beside her, beaming. "You okay?" he asked, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. She nodded. "Yeah, just overwhelmed." Overwhelmed didn't even scratch it. Because the moment she said yes, her phone vibrated. One message. "Nice ring. Shame it won't last." No name. No number. Just proof they were still watching. Kyra's fingers clenched the phone in her lap. Her stomach turned. Jaden didn't call her that night. Didn't message. And something about his silence terrified her. Jaden stared at the same photo Kyra had just seen. Only this one wasn't sent to him, he found it in his glove compartment. Same handwriting. Same threat. "You've got 48 hours. Or I tell him myself." He paced back and forth. His hands balled into fists. He wanted to smash something. Anything. He didn't care about the photos anymore, he cared about her. The guilt was eating her alive. And Kendrick. He was walking blind into a wall of knives. Jaden poured himself a drink and muttered, "This ends now." Kyra woke up alone. Kendrick had left early for a business deal. She wandered downstairs, still wearing his shirt. The house was quiet. Too quiet. She grabbed coffee, barely sipping it. Her appetite was gone. Her thoughts were loud. She wanted to run away. vanish. But guilt is heavier than a suitcase. Suddenly, she heard footsteps. Not Kendrick's. Jaden. He walked in like a man with war in his chest. We need to talk. Kyra looked up, tired. Now. Yes. Now. He pulled out his phone. Showed her the message. She paled. They gave a deadline. 2 days. She shook her head. What do we do? Jaden's voice was low. We end it. She looked confused. Tell Kendrick, she whispered. Jaden hesitated. Then nodded. Before they do. Kyra's eyes welled up. He'll hate me. Jaden's voice cracked. Yeah. Maybe. But not knowing will kill him worse. That evening, Kendrick came home. He was in a good mood. Deal went great, he said, walking into the kitchen. Also, got reservations for Saturday. Kyra smiled weakly. Nice. He poured himself a drink. You okay, love? You look pale. Kyra opened her mouth. Then closed it. She couldn't do it. Not tonight. Not while he looked so happy. Just tired, she lied. He walked over and kissed her cheek. Jaden stood outside, watching through the glass door. He saw the kiss. He saw her flinch. He saw the distance growing between them like a dark ocean. The next morning changed everything. It started like any other day. Coffee. Small talk. Casual laughter. Until Kendrick walked back into the living room holding an envelope. Hey babe. Did you drop this? Kyra froze. No. No, no, no. He opened it before she could snatch it. Inside was a flash drive. No note. No label. Just a single black USB. Kendrick raised a brow. What's this? Kyra's lips moved but nothing came out. Looks like a prank, he said, chuckling. Let's see. He plugged it into the TV. Then the screen came to life.